The Office for National Statistics announced its inflation figures. Unfortunately for ordinary Brits and Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, the year-on-year headline inflation in May came in at 8.7%, the same as it was in April and significantly higher than the 8.4% that analysts were forecasting. So in this video, we will examine why inflation refuses to decrease, how the UK compares to other countries, and why this news is genuinely disastrous, not only for the UK economy and the housing market, but also for Rishi Sunak. As mentioned earlier, the inflation rate remained at 8.7% in May, the same as the previous month, and significantly higher than anticipated. This means that prices actually increased by 0.7% between April and May. The rise in prices was largely driven by the increased cost of leisure activities, such as airfares, package holidays, live music events, games, and toys. Additionally, there was yet another increase in the price of food, although the year-on-year food inflation rate was 18.3%, which is slightly lower than the 19% observed in April. It is still unreasonably high, implying a monthly increase of 0.9% between April and May. We discussed how the UK has been particularly affected by rising food prices compared to other countries, which may be related to Brexit. To make matters worse, core inflation, which excludes volatile commodities like food and energy prices, rose from 6.8% in April to 7.1% in May. Core inflation is a key indicator for central banks to assess domestic demand and influences decisions on interest rate adjustments. The situation sets the UK apart globally, as both headline and core inflation are declining in the rest of the developed world, aligning with the intentions of central banks. For instance, in the European Union, headline inflation fell from 8.1% in April to 7.1% in May, while in the United States, it decreased from 3.8% to 2.7%. Core inflation has been consistently falling since September of the previous year. The impact of this news is truly dire for ordinary Brits. Rising prices alone are problematic, especially considering that UK wages have been stagnant since 2008 and are not growing as fast as the prices are rising. Although there has been a recent uptick in the private sector wage growth, which reached 7.4% in April, it still lags behind inflation, resulting in a decline in real terms for Brits' purchasing power. Furthermore, this situation is likely to lead to further interest rate hikes from the Bank of England, which will have negative implications. While the exact announcement from the bank is unknown at the time of writing, market expectations include a possible 0.25% or 0.5% hike, which would raise the bank rate to either 4.75% or 5%. These levels would be the highest since April of 2008. Market forecasts suggest that the bank will continue raising rates in the coming months, with an estimated peak of around 6% at the beginning of next year. The consequences of interest rate hikes are particularly concerning in the context of UK's mortgage crisis. Many homeowners in the UK have variable rate mortgages, meaning their mortgage costs are influenced by the prevailing interest rate. As rate increases, the cost of servicing these mortgages rises as well. Currently, the average mortgage around costs nearly $3,700 more per year, and this number will only continue to rise with further rate hikes. This situation puts downward pressure on the housing market and could potentially lead to a wave of repositions, similar to the one experienced in the early 1990s, when nearly 2.2 million homes were repossessed by lenders. Even if one considers falling house prices to be beneficial, given the overpriced nature of housing in the UK, it remains a difficult time for economically disadvantaged mortgaged homeowners. These developments also pose a significant challenge for Rishi Sunak. While the inflation issue is not entirely his responsibility, it undermines his claim to economic competence in the eyes of most voters. Additionally, Sunak's pledge to halve inflation by the end of the year, which was initially perceived as a politically astute move, now appears unlikely to be achieved. Like and subscribe for more interesting videos. See you next time.